Welcome to CarpetDyeSticks.com, the simplest and most effective way to dye bleach spots in your carpet. We're going to do a demonstration today. For those of you who are perhaps beginners at mixing colors, don't have any background in art or makeup, I hate to say it, guys, but most women are going to be able to do this easier than you are because they're usually pretty good at putting makeup and base on, and they have a better eye for color. So for those of you who are beginners, you can use a piece of paper to kind of determine the colors that you want to start with. Remember, if you've read the instructions on my website, the colors are broken down into three major categories. That's the warm colors, the cool colors, and the sand tones, or in other words, red, yellow, and blue. Red being warm, blue being cool, and yellow being a sand color. The grays, we have two gray colors in our set, and they represent your cool colors. I'm going to do this spot. It's already been cleaned and neutralized. So it was pure Clorox bleach that was put on this carpet, and it has been cleaned and neutralized. So I'm just going to re-wet it because it's been a few days since it had been cleaned. So just get it slightly wet like this, and then again, if you've read the instructions, you will remember that I said to tone down the yellow. Since yellow is one of our three primary colors, or sand tones, we use a cool color, and our coolest colors are gray. So we're going to use a bit of the gray to tone down the yellow, because the yellow is just way too bright and it'll want to shine through anything that you put on it. And also remember to start in the middle. You don't want a huge amount of overlap onto the original color. So you kind of start in the middle. The colors start to dissolve onto the moist carpet, and we can tone down this yellow by using the lighter of the two grays. You can simply take an old hairbrush or have a carpet grooming rake, or you can even just use your hand to kind of blend the grays in, to mix them around a little bit. You don't want to abrade the carpet. You don't want to rub it so hard that you're fraying the fibers on the carpet. I'm going to attempt to do half of this stain in this video so that you'll still be able to see the contrast between where we started and where we ended up. You see the grays are starting to blend in there and starting to tone down the yellow colors. Okay, now I've chosen a few colors here. This one tended to be just a little bit too light when I tried it on the white paper. When I put it on there, it's really probably better suited for a cream color or a very light color carpet. So I'm going to go with a little darker one. Just simply peel back the paper label and apply gently. You want to get a little bit of it down in between the fibers. Just rub it around in circles, a little bit back and forth, blend it in. Again, try not to overlap. The colors will, when you go over them with the rake or with your hand, they will start to migrating towards the edge so that you'll be able to get right onto the edge of where the bleach spot stops. Get some color in here. If you feel that it's too dry, you can simply mist it a little more with some water. Warm water will help the color go on smoother and more easily. Not absolutely necessary that it be warm water, though. Using any type of the rental or professional, what they call steam cleaning machine, which is really a hot water extraction unit, you can neutralize the stains. Whatever was in the carpet to create the stain in the first place typically has like a wetting or a sudsing agent in it, so you get a lot of suds even from some bleaches, and the suds will kind of get in your way of being able to color the carpet because it just makes everything wash out too easily and it doesn't stick. The dye doesn't stick from your dye sticks. The carpets have an up and a down grain, so you can do it like this where you're pushing the grain of the carpet down. You're coloring one side of the fiber. You can go back the other way, color the other side of the fiber. One of the most common mistakes in doing this is that people apply too much dye. It can simply be cleaned out using warm water or using your carpet cleaning or Bissell machine and redone, or you can just simply try to do it slowly enough so that you're adding just the right amount of color and not getting too much. Sometimes it's the different sides of the fiber that you're not getting covered well. I'm starting to notice that this color that I'm using is a little bit warm for this. It's got a little bit too much red in it, so I'm going to go back over it with the gray and put some more gray on it to tone down the red. Because remember, we've got red, yellow, and blue, or in other words, warm tones, cool tones, and sand tones carpet. So you see immediately the gray is making a huge difference in toning down the yellows that are still showing through and toning down the warm tones that were in the dye stick which I was using. Let's see, you can kind of get it down in between the fibers because sometimes you can see the yellow through the bottoms of the yarns or the lower portions of the yarn towards the backing. Again, okay, there, it looks like I've got a little bit too much gray, but when I blend it in with the dyes that are already on there, it starts coming out really nicely. There are some little edges that need to be touched up here a little bit. Use the grays or the browns to get it right up to the edge of the fiber. You can go all four directions if you wish to try to get all four sides of each yarn colored. And again, blend it in with your old comb, old brush, or your hand, or a grooming rake like this. And that could be touched up a little bit more, but more or less, that is the simplest way to spot dye a carpet. If you're just really awful at mixing colors, you have an opportunity to just simply clean it back out with your professional or home carpet cleaning unit and re-dye it. It really does work the very best on a freshly cleaned carpet where the carpet has just been steam cleaned and it's still wet and a little bit warm, so that the dyes dissolve more easily onto the fabric. And that is the conclusion of our video. Thank you very much. Hope you enjoy our product.